Hey everyone, this is Jeremy and Natasha, and guess what? We got the scoop for you today, so stick around and see what we got for you.
Hey everyone, I'm Natasha.
And I'm Jeremy.
And welcome to We Got the Scoop.
Kanye sparks the topic of free thought. Rudy Giuliani has the scoop. Salt or sugar grits? And the word of the week, the pursuit of happiness.
Awesome. Yo, so how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing.
Awesome. Are
Another
you really
day.
amazing?
Amazing. I'm alive and amongst the land of the living. Every day is a good day above ground.
Amen to that. Awesome. So, Kanye West sparks controversy over the internet when he says that slaves had a choice to be slaves. He also sparks a great conversation over the topic of free thought. What do you think about the whole, first of all, what do you think about the whole comment that he said? And I know everybody's been talking about this a lot over the internet, and it's still, it's still a hot topic today, about what he said over the whole slave comment. But let's tackle that one first. So what do you think about what he said about slaves having a choice?
Yeah, that was not a smart comment. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know where his head is.
Yeah.
We talked about last week about how he the dragon energy, and then a couple days later, then he goes on TMZ and he says this comment. I think the guy is begging for attention.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have speculations as far as why he's doing what he's doing. I know that he has an album that's either dropping or dropped already. I don't really follow him, so we don't know. But I think when I look at other interviews with people close to him, and then he had his interview with Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club. When you see interviews like that, and then you see on the Breakfast Club, the rapper T.I. Had comments about, because him and Kanye West did an album or did a song together, and it was called the People versus Kanye or Ye or something like that. I don't know, but going back and forth about Kanye's opinions of free thought, and so and people close to him or who have had conversations with him talking about it, they're saying that he's serious about what he's saying. And that he just, he doesn't understand. He's cut off from the world, and he doesn't really understand, the world issues right now. And I think, he on the TMZ interview said something about, he's doing what he feels. He's doing what the universe tells him to do. That he's a very, he expressed in his interview that he's a very emotional person, and he feels a lot, and he does a lot based on what we feel. You and I have had that conversation before about, feelings and, how you interact with feelings. So what do you think about what he's saying about that?
First of all, I want to say that everybody's entitled to feel or have their own opinions about things. Mm-hmm. But when he spoke about the slavery choice, I think he was way off. That was crazy for him to say that.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's entitled to have their own feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. I think what's funny, in the internet always win in the end. The memes, man, about if slavery was a choice, that those memes are hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that someone would think that that people would choose to be a slave for 400 years, and what, our people were beat. They had their testicles cut off. They had their tongues ripped out of their mouth. Their teeth were broken out of their mouth. There are all kind of mental manipulation that took place during slavery, and also if you were when you're born into, and we see it today, when you're born into a certain lifestyle, that's what you know. You don't know a whole lot of anything else, and so even you can look at the people in inner cities who grow up poverty stricken. Look at the mentality that a lot of people have not everybody, but there's a lot of people who, tend to stay in those situations and don't really want to, try to change those situations. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody in inner cities have poor person mentalities. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people who are born into certain situations who don't really want to get out of those situations. Not necessarily they don't want to. It's just that they don't know how to.
Right.
That's all they know. They don't really know a different way other than what they've learned. And the fact that he said that slavery was a choice. There was a lot of different things that happened during slavery where people attempted to be free.
Right.
That's what do you think? What's her? Oh my God, why can't I think of her name? They want to put on a $20 bill. Harriet Tubman. What do you think she was doing?
Right.
She was getting slaves and she was rescuing them on the Underground Railroad. And then there were all kinds of different rebellions and things that took place.
I think he was saying that if a group of them would have got together, there were more of them than there were of the slave master, and then there, you know what I mean? So I was thinking he was thinking you have a 300 or whatever slaves, or maybe less than that, probably not that many. Anyway, but you only have one master.
Okay.
And so why did these people not go rebel or to get themselves out of the situation?
Let's go with that. So where were they going to go?
Right, because then after that, even if they conquered that, that still wouldn't have meant anything.
Exactly.
And okay, go ahead.
No, say what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So he also was saying that a lot of us are in a mental prison. So maybe that's what he was thinking about when it came to slavery. That these people were in a mental prison.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to think freely for themselves to get out of the situation.
That's not a choice. That's not a choice. Being in a mental prison is not a choice. Being brainwashed to believe one way. They even, slave masters would use the Bible to, brainwash slaves to make them, be subservient to the slave masters. That's that's mental, that's a mental prison. That's, you're trying to teach me to, one way, and that's really not true. But what do you think about free thought? Free thought in itself? Because that's the whole point of what his rant is that we should be allowed to have free thought. You should be able to think whatever you want to think.
And you should.
Yeah, no, I agree. You should. The problem that I find when it comes, and there's nothing wrong with free thought. I have a problem with people wanting to have free thought without criticism. So you can think whatever you want to think, but when you present that free thought to the masses, don't expect the masses to just accept your free thought.
Agree with what you
Right, exactly.
Right, I get that.
So you say slavery was a choice, that's your free thought, and you're entitled to your opinion. But when I criticize your opinion on your free thought, you ain't get upset with me.
Right.
And a lot of people have this whole mentality that that's the whole point of what he's saying is that people criticize free thought. Well, if you are allowed to have free thought, I'm allowed to have free thought as well. About your free thought. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just really tell me that, I want to have my opinion, but you can't have your opinion about my opinion.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So, I
don't see anything wrong with everybody. You have your own thoughts and your opinions and the way that you see the world. I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you're not causing harm to others.
Yeah.
Then
I agree. I have no problem at all with people thinking.
Because me and you think completely two different ways.
We do. We don't agree on everything. We think different ways when it comes to different things. But what's important is respect. What's really important is being able to meet on some kind of common ground. And so, like I said, I think it's okay to have free thought. I agree with you on that, and I agree with Kanye West on that, and everybody else who has something to say about free thought. But when it comes to free thought, I'm allowed to criticize your free thought if you present it to the world. Now, if your free thought is something that you keep in your mind, then, hey, there's nothing I can do about that. But if you put it out there in the world, then I'm going to criticize. And likewise, we have this podcast, and we state our opinions on this podcast,
right?
And people are not going to always agree with us.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with critiques, because at the end of the day, you're going to think what you think. I'm going to think what I think.
Agree to disagree.
And someone, so I cling to this phrase. A man convinced against his will is a man of the same opinion still. You can't convince someone against something that they just don't want to be convinced against.
True.
Cool.
Very true. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani confesses that President Trump paid a retainer to Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen for paying off Stormy Daniels. Oh, this whole Trump and Stormy Daniels thing is, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on with this.
Yeah. I want to point out that, to everyone who's listening, is that we intentionally try to not talk about Trump in our podcast.
100% true.
And we really seriously, consider different topics to talk about outside of, Trump. But, it's hard to get around, not bringing this guy up.
He's always in the news, especially right now with this whole Stormy Daniels thing going on and him paying her off and yada, yada, yada. And then Rudy Giuliani went, what did he go on the news or CNN or something like that?
Yeah, he had some kind of interview or something like that, yeah.
Right, and he came out saying that other women might have been paid off and she might have not been the only one. And I think the main thing that they're trying to get around is what he said was that no campaign money was used to pay off Stormy Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I guess, that's the most important part because he doesn't want to be impeached, right?
Right. See.
So if he used the campaign money, then that's something different. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, and so Trump took to Twitter, and he stated, Mr. Cohen, an attorney, received a monthly retainer not from the campaign and having nothing to do with the campaign from which he entered into. Through reimbursement, a private contract between two parties known as a non-disclosure agreement, or NDA. These agreements are very common among celebrities and people of wealth. In this case, it is in full force and effect and will be used in arbitration for damages against Ms. Clifford. I guess that's Stormy Daniels' real name.
Right.
The agreement was used to stop the false and extortionist accusations made by her about an affair, despite already having signed a detailed letter admitting that there was no affair. Prior to its violation by Ms. Clifford and her attorney, this was a private agreement. Money from the campaign or campaign contribution played no role in this transaction. So here's my problem. Okay? So he stated that she made false extortionist accusations.
Okay.
Now, normally when someone tries to extortion you, you can go to the FBI or to some authority figure like, but authority figure like police or something like that.
Right.
And you can file on them.
Right.
I believe Kevin Hart just went through something like this, where, when he had cheated on his wife and he got caught on camera, one of his best friends tried to extort him for money.
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
And it was on the internet that, and even Kevin Hart had something to say about it on Twitter. But the guy who extorted him went to jail. So here's my problem.
Interesting.
So if she was extorting the President of the United States, why not bring up criminal charges on her? Or he wasn't the President of the United States then, but even still, why not bring up criminal charges on her? Why pay her off?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he's trying to say that, it was false and, she is trying to extort me, then why pay her a lump sum of money for sex that you didn't have?
Right. She should have just went to jail.
And, and these, conservatives are really blind if they can't see that.
Right. It's crazy.
This guy, and if you want to have sex with porn stars, that you do what you do, do your thing.
Don't lie about it.
But yeah, don't think that we stupid about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what he's doing, and that's what he's trying to he's trying to make it out like we're just stupid, because he didn't own it. He said that it didn't happen, and he's still holding on to that. Haven't. Then why it paid off. And then you said Rudy Giuliani is saying that there may be other women.
Yep, that's what he said.
First of all, you know what I thought about when I heard that?
What?
Trump is paying a lot of money for some booty. This guy is paying a whole lot of money for some booty.
And he's rich. So. And I guess that's what rich, wealthy people do. But he had a wife, though. This was prior to his wife?
No, that was while they were together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the other ones. I know this situation with Stormy Daniels is why him and his wife are together.
Oh, interesting.
But his wife ain't going nowhere.
Right, he got money.
But it's clear. It's crazy. It's clear. You can see all in videos where she's clearly not happy.
Yeah, I've seen those. I don't know what to say about that. She just looks miserable. Or maybe we're reading too much into it. I hate when people like just try to judge off of a picture.
I agree.
And they be like, "Oh, they must have been arguing."
There's no
something.
context.
Right? You don't know what happened. Maybe she's just not a smiler.
No, she's a smiler. First of all, there are pictures of her smiling without him, so she smiles.
Well, he should have got a better actress.
Just look at when the Bush, Mrs. Bush, First Lady Bush passed. She went to the funeral and she was happy. She smiled with everybody there. And she looked genuinely happy. But when she's, in videos and stuff with her husband,
maybe she's nervous.
If I try to hold your hand and you try to take your hand away from me, you will get the hand. Let me tell you something.
Maybe because this is a couple, okay? Mm-hmm. Couples have fights, couples argue. Yeah. Maybe sometimes before these pictures or videos or whatever was taken, they had just had a small argument. I can't fight the feeling. I'm not going to be holding your hand after we just argued. If I'm still upset, and these are like they got to have a whole lot of small arguments for. I'm just trying to look at the other side of it because I feel like these people get criticized so much, and we're not in their daily lives.
But they don't get criticized because they just get criticized. Trump pulls that on himself.
He does.
Think about all the times he talked about other people. He criticized the Obama so much. I mean, oh my God, these people couldn't do anything right.
All he kept talking about was that birth certificate for Obama. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
Yeah,
that's old.
Yeah, that is old.
But I don't know what to say about that. She appeared on Stormy Daniels appeared on Saturday Night Live, and she played herself, of course, and she played like she was talking to Trump, and she said that he asked the guy who's playing Trump, which was Alec Baldwin, asked her, what does she want? And she said she wants him to resign.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. Except for,
but why didn't, party. This is my question. If this would have came out right before elections happened, would Trump be president?
Yeah, he still would.
You think so?
Yeah. Look at how these people thought. First of all, grab her by the vagina. That was before he was president.
True.
The lawsuits about not treating people of color right in his businesses. That was before. That was all before.
So you think he was unstoppable anyway?
It wasn't that. It was people saw a black man in the White House who was, he was suave. He was, people related to him.
He didn't get caught up in any scandals.
Exactly. He didn't get caught up in those. Anytime, racist white people see black men who are, who they can't really, throw, negativity toward.
Right.
They don't like that.
Right.
And so when they saw a black man in the seat of a White House, they saw black people taking over.
Right.
So when they saw Obama, they saw black. They didn't just see Obama; they saw black people, and that hatred for black people and their fear. It was their fear that that put Trump in the White House no matter what. And then of course Obama did some things too that that even that a lot of people didn't agree with, like the whole gay marriage type thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of conservative Christians didn't like that, and so they were like, "Oh, that's just good. Let's get somebody in here that's not a politician. That's that's just not going to change things up, and that's really for something different." But I think the biggest part of it was fear.
That's true.
A lot of racist white people got scared when Obama came in. And so when Trump came along, they would, and he started talking, their language.
Make America great.
Make America great again.
Yeah. And
that spoke to, before all these Negroes got up in the White House, let's get it back to, before then. And that's
how far back does he want to go?
Oh, let me tell you
that's the question.
If
I have.
If he could, we all, all the people of color. Well, he's trying to send the Mexicans back to Mexico. We'd be back on the plantation.
Let me tell you something. In that case, I'm a free thinker, as when Kanye West.
Nothing wrong with being a free thinker. Let's be a critical thinker.
Right? No,
and an independent thinker.
I'm making a joke out of what he said. That he said that how are they going to be slaves? How were they slaves? So I'm saying I'm a free thinker in that case.
Well, that's what most of these racist white people need to understand is that they're dealing with a generation that's not the same generation that were before. Us is today. We're not going to put up the same stuff that our forefathers put up with. The whole peaceful marches and stuff like that. We ain't doing no peaceful marching. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something different. And that's what. Because
we had a taste of freedom. That's
exactly.
That's the difference.
Exactly. We ain't just have a taste of freedom.
We know freedom.
We free. It ain't gonna be we ain't going to no slavery. It ain't gonna be that type of thing.
Right. All right. What we got next?
So what do you? So let me know. Sugar in your grits or salt in your grits?
Straight up salt and butter. No sugar. I don't want no sweet grits.
First of all, you cannot have grits without putting some sugar in your grits. That's a lie.
That is a lie.
You have to have sugar in your grits.
I prefer salt, pepper, and butter.
Pepper too?
Pepper too.
I'll put some good butter in my grits, but I got to put some sugar in them grits.
I lost you with the pepper, didn't I?
Yeah, you lost me with the pepper. But people put pepper in grits. There's nothing wrong with that. I put some Tony Satcheries in the water when I'm making my grits. So there's nothing wrong with that. But
look here,
pepper, salt, pepper, there's high blood pressure too.
Pepper is okay. It's not salt.
Okay, fine. But you can't. Salt in your grits is just nasty. I don't get it. Well, I mean, I get a little pinch of salt when you put in the water. You put a little pinch of salt in it.
How you gonna get the water boiling? That's the ingredient.
Water boil without salt.
What is look, the grits tell you how they're supposed to be cooked. It says add salt to get the water boiling.
A little bit of salt. And
it don't say nothing about sugar.
That's fine. But after you done put that little bit of salt, you don't put no more salt in it. Now that's the high
I don't, because you have your salt in there at the beginning. But my whole point is, what did the people say with the poll that we put out on Facebook?
All right, so we did a poll on Facebook and we polled 61 people. And why 61? Because we just put the poll out there and anybody who could do the poll did the poll. Okay, so 61 people did the poll, and out of 61 people, 27 said they prefer sugar in their grits. 34 said they prefer salt in their grits.
Well, we won. The people have spoken.
Well, 44% sugar, 56% prefer salt.
Hey,
I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
Whatever.
I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
You can put some sugar in some oatmeal, but not grits.
That's not true. Have you really tasted sugar in your grits?
I have never tasted it.
So how can you? Oh, listen to this. How can you say that you don't like?
Have you ever tasted it without sugar?
Yes, I have. I have not tasted it. You've never even tried it, and you're saying that you don't even like it.
Listen, it don't sound right.
Wow.
If it does not sound right, I'm not gonna try it.
That is interesting. You haven't even tried it, and you.
I'll try it.
I wonder how many people out there who did this poll never tried sugar in their grits.
Whatever, and I wonder how many of those people who selected sugar haven't tried it with salt. It could go both ways.
I don't know. It can't go both ways. But I've seen there are people who were saying that they like jelly in their grits. There was someone who said one of my brothers said that he grits with beans and what is it? I think he said steak or something like that.
That's good.
Someone else said they grits with their with fish, fried fish and baked fish.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then of course you know how we eat it.
Shrimp and grits.
With some shrimp and grits.
You can add some cheese on there if you're nasty. Now that's good stuff right there.
But the consensus According to our poll, is that
We won.
a lot of people like salt in their grits.
We won.
But I wonder how it would have been if we would have polled 100 people. You think it would have?
I think it would have still won.
Yeah, I'm sure you think that way, but you never.
Because that's a traditional way of eating grits.
How did I thought there was no traditional way of. I thought there was no traditional way of doing it.
You know what? You're not gonna bring up stuff that we talked about prior to this podcast.
Whatever. All right, everybody, it's time for the word of the week.
All right.
And the word of the week for this week is called the pursuit of happiness. And we're coming from Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10, the ending clause of verse 10 that says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." So not too long ago, I made a post on social media saying that happiness is a fool's pursuit. And it kind of went over a lot of people's heads. So I decided in this week's Word of the Week to clear it up and make the connection to the Word of God so that others can get a clear understanding of the quote. Many people go about their lives trying to find happiness. They do a lot of things trying to chase something that comes and goes. Happiness is like a family member who only comes around when you know you have money. It's conditioned. People are only happy when things are going the way that they want them to go. But we don't control life. We don't control circumstances or chance that happens to the best of us. And we're all susceptible to life's swift transition. The idea of finding happiness is a flawed one because you don't find happiness. Happiness finds you. And just as soon as it finds you, it moves on with the changes of life. Rather than trying to find happiness, I challenge everyone to find joy. When happiness moves on with the seasons, joy is a lifelong friend. Joy, it comes with contentment and with making peace with who you are and where you are in life. Joy can come to you in a storm and you will be okay with the damage that is being done, knowing that it can always be worse. Joy causes you to acknowledge the fact that seasons change and that if you just hold on a little while, that storm of a situation will be over. No matter what you go through, if you learn to have joy, you will be able to handle the tumultuous situations that come with being alive on this earth. So rather than trying to find happiness, find you a lifelong friend in joy.
Amen.
Amen. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of We Got the Scoop.
All right, until next time, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can stream us on facebook.com/GotTheScoop or blogtalkradio.com/We Got the Scoop. You can also stream us on YouTube by searching We Got the Scoop.